everyone and welcome. I am finally back for part 26 here at Austria at the A1 ring. Now I'm looking forward to this race. It's a great racetrack. Of course, we raced on it this year in the 2014 F1 season as the Red Bull Ring. But you can see that we are currently sitting first in the constructors and third in the driver standings on 42 points. We are trying to gain more on our teammate at the top of the standings.
Just before the free practice session begins, let's take a quick look at the Drivers' Championship. Hakkinen is leading the Drivers' Championship, but having finished second in the last race, he'll be hoping to go one better and win here at A1 ring. Michael Schumacher, second. The McLaren driver, third. Well, that covers the drivers. Let's take a quick look at the constructors next. McLaren are running away with the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are second. Williams are third. Located near Nittelfeld in the foothills of the Styrian Mountains, the A1 ring combines three long strolling mix of fast sweeping and slower 90-degree turns. Built on the site of the historic Österreich ring, this dedicated motorsports facility is another fine example of modern circuit design.
Right, so we jump into practice for this Austrian Grand Prix, and I am very rusty on the game. You see I nearly spun there, but we eventually got a time together of a 1:12.8, but there's still plenty of time to find. But unfortunately, going towards the end of the first sector, you see a Minardi and Arrows going side by side, and I try to overtake the pair of them, but I just misjudge it and knock off my front wing and the Arrow's rear wing there. So then, of course, I had to come into the pits to repair it. But later on in the session, on low fuel, we're up by around 7/10 on our time before. Going around the final corner, we're looking to have a huge improvement. We're currently sitting in first, and this will put us even further in first on a 1:12.0. Still plenty of time to find, though, I feel, especially in the middle sector, because that's the place where I'm losing the most time. But here we are, coming to start our first lap in qualifying. We've got 3 laps of fuel, and we are looking to go for pole position. We have the car underneath us. This is a McLaren, and it is one of the best cars in the game. But moving on, we're in the middle sector. We've taken that quite nicely, and then to the line, we've done a 1:11.3, which is a pretty decent lap time, the fastest that we've seen so far, faster than anything anyone did in practice. But to the line later on, we set a 1:11.1. But then on our last lap of this qualifying session, we're up by around 700ths in the middle sector, but going towards the last corner, are we going to improve? We fling into the last corner, we run wide, but we have to throttle on early. What was the time? It's going to be a 1:10.9. So that may be good enough for pole position, but we'll see, as I'm now going to hand you over to the grid.
Hello there. Welcome to Austria for round 10 of the 2000 FIA Formula One World Championship. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Schumacher fared the same as his championship rival. He starts alongside in first. The McLaren driver performed brilliantly in qualifying to line up second. Mika Hakkinen couldn't quite match the pace of his teammate. He starts third. Schumacher, fourth. Rubens Barrichello, fifth. Trulli, sixth. Villeneuve, seventh. Irvine, eighth. Giancarlo Fisichella, ninth. Sarlo, 10th. Button, 11th. Nick Heidfeld, 12th. Ricardo Zonta, 13th. Johnny Herbert, 14th. Wirtz, 15th. Heinz-Harald Frentzen, 16th. Jean Lacey, 17th. De La Rosa, 18th. Verstappen, 19th. Pedro Diniz, 20th. Marc Genet, 21st. Mazzacane, 22nd.
Right, so here we are for the Austrian Grand Prix. We have qualified in second, just 1,000th behind Michael Schumacher, as we have the lights. And we are go, and it looks like we've held position so far. We've got Mika Häkkinen on our left-hand side and Michael Schumacher in front of us. But we're going towards the first corner. Are we going to have a look at Michael Schumacher? No, we're not. We're going to just let him go through the first corner, and he's now focused on trying to keep Mika Häkkinen behind and the whole pack. He doesn't look like he has a run on us up to the end of this first sector, but we need to now try and get back at Michael Schumacher, make sure he doesn't run away. We're going into the braking at the end of the first sector. It looks like we're more confident on the braking there. So that's somewhere that maybe we can look at later on in the race. As on lap 2, we are slipstreaming Michael Schumacher, and we are looking to try and gain the lead of this race. We seem to be faster than Michael Schumacher. We're going into the end of the first sector. Are we going to have a look? No, we're not. We're going to shape ourselves up for maybe a look down this next straight. Slipstream Michael Schumacher. Are we going to get him into the very tight right-hander? We've got a very good run here. We're going to pull out from underneath his slipstream down the inside. We've gone a bit deep, trying to keep control of the car. We've just about made the corner. Michael Schumacher's beside us as we're now going to run side by side this middle sector. We're now going to go into this fast sweeping left-hander, and we're still side by side. Looks like I've got the lead, but where's Michael Schumacher? He's there around the outside and he keeps the position. Now he brakes in that left-hander, which catches me off guard. But we need to try and now reshape ourselves up for maybe a look down the pit straight, because obviously we won't be able to have a look into these final two corners. You can't overtake into them. But here we go then. Let's see if we can shape ourselves up at all. So we shape ourselves up behind Michael Schumacher. We're slipstreaming down at the pit straight, and we're now going to go down the inside of Michael Schumacher into the first corner, and we've gone wide again, and now Michael Schumacher's cut straight back under us, so we have to slipstream him down into the end of the first sector. This battle has lasted a whole lap now, so a really good battle with Michael Schumacher here as we go down the outside this time. Have we got him down into the braking? No, we haven't. He's still there on the inside. Now we're going to run side by side. I did leave him space, and maybe that was why he's still there. But we're now going to go down into this right-hander. Have I got him? It looks like I've got the straight line speed on him, and it looks like I have taken Michael Schumacher as long as I don't outbrake myself, which I don't. And I am now up into the lead. Now, I noticed now that I have a much lighter fuel load than all of the other cars. They're running to lap 20 or so, while I'm only running to lap 18. So I knew that I needed to really stretch out my advantage in terms of the gap. And you see here that on lap 13 I've got an 11-second gap, but I've actually run wide, and I'm very lucky to catch the car here, because I could have just gone straight into the barrier there. But the gap's now fallen down to 9.7, but we need a really big gap. It's gone back up to 12.5 on lap 17, coming into the pits for our pit stop. And of course just a one-stop race, obviously, no rain forecast or anything like that. So we're just looking to get a good result here in Austria. Maybe even the victory is possible today. I think we've built up enough of a gap. So now we come for a change of tyres and obviously some fuel, as Michael Schumacher and Mika Häkkinen will definitely pass us in the pits, but I'm not sure where Ralf Schumacher and I think Rubens Barrichello is going to play into this. You'll see him in the top left. Ralf Schumacher, the time is ticking down. Is he going to pass us before he manages to get out of the pit lane? It's going to be pretty close. He must be just about approaching the start-finish line now, as we now disable the limiter, go up the hill. Very slow right-hander. He's getting very close. It might even be under 2 seconds, but we have kept ahead of Ralf Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello, which is crucial for our race as we move on to lap 19. Mika Häkkinen, of course, is pulling away from us into the right hand at the end of the first sector. It's very wide, very wide. We're on the dirt, and we've actually spun the car around. And yet again, we're very lucky not to get any damage there, but it looks like Ralf Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello has passed us, so we just need to resume the circuit as soon as possible. This might cost us victory here, but we had quite a big advantage before our pit stop, so we just need to keep it going and don't do anything stupid. But moving on to lap 22, going around the right-hander, and we've done exactly what I said I shouldn't do, and I've just had a clumsy spin into the wall. I've knocked off my front wing, and that's going to mean we're going to have to make another pit stop. Now, loads of people still haven't made pit stops, so we'll see where we come out. But just pulling into the pits now with no front wing, of course we're going to have to get it replaced. We've got 13 laps remaining. I know last season I actually finished the race with no front wing. Hopefully that won't be happening today. But pulling into the pit stop, and Michael Schumacher is still leading this race, which is not very good in terms of McLaren. Mika Häkkinen, though, is in second, but he's within a second of Michael Schumacher. But they're now going to be released from our pit box in 11th place, and I think Zonta is too far behind to be challenging us. So we should be okay for that. It looks like Jacques Villeneuve has jumped in the pits. He's pulled out right in front of us. Bit of an unsafe release there, but we're just going to stick right behind him, and I think it'll be a really easy pass because we're right behind him in the slipstream. and we're just going to go around the outside, and I think we're just going to pass him before we even reach the corner, and we have. So that's a pretty easy move on Jack Villeneuve. We've got Mika Salo 8.6 seconds up the road, but he pits on lap 24 alongside loads of other people. We've got Jensen Button pitting, Jarno Trulli pitting, who, if you look at the timing at the top left, you'll see that we only just get out. He must be just in that pit lane entry, or exit even, sorry. And we're 15 seconds behind Ralf Schumacher. Now, I knew that I had a chance of trying to catch this up, and you can see that I've chopped the gap down to 13.8, and on lap 28 I've chopped it down to 10 seconds. I'm pushing for this 4th place. It's crucial for the championship. And then going around the right-hander at the end of the lap on lap 30, and we've chopped it down to 7.3. This could be really close. This could be in the last laps kind of thing. And moving on to the last lap, and we are within 2.5 seconds of Ralf Schumacher. You can see him just up the road. We're going to ride on board for this entire lap here as I do maximum push, trying to catch Ralf Schumacher, who's only 2.3 seconds up the road now, 2.2, but going into the very hard braking for turn 2, and we have made the apex perfectly, and we've got the right traction and everything. We probably could have done that in first gear, to be honest, but we decided not to. But moving on to this right-hander down the hill, you can see him just there, just exiting the next corner. There's a car off in the wall there. I have no idea what's happening there. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been no replays. The replay didn't save, so I can't give you any replays. I'm sorry about that. But trying to catch Ralf Schumacher within 1.3 seconds in this middle sector. This middle sector is my poorest part of the lap. We're just trying to catch him up here. We've lost a couple of tenths in that corner alone, but we're 1.5 seconds behind Ralf Schumacher. Can we get him? It's looking very unlikely towards the last part of the lap. Around the right-hander, ride as much curve as possible on the exit and on entry, and then around the last corner we are going to finish this race in 5th place. We didn't quite manage to cut the gap down, but we managed to catch 13 seconds on him in those last closing laps. So it was an okay race. Unfortunately, we kind of threw away the victory there, as we now hand over to the results.
That's the end of an awesome Austrian Grand Prix. Here are the final results. Schumacher first. Hakkinen second. Rubens Barrichello third. Schumacher fourth. The McLaren driver fifth. Jarno Trulli sixth.
Alright, so he finished in 5th place, giving us a total of 2 points for this Grand Prix. Not the best Grand Prix here today, especially with our old teammate Ralf Schumacher just about finishing ahead of us, just a second ahead. But you'll see that Ferrari have scored the most points today, which is a problem in the constructors, but we've got enough of a lead to maintain it for now, as I now hand you over to the drivers' standings.
With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. Hakkinen first.
So here we have a look at the driver standings, and you can see that I'm now on 44 points, and I've lost ground to my teammate and Michael Schumacher, who's won the race, and Michael Schumacher's now homing in on the championship lead, so we need to try and get ourselves back up there. Maybe he'll have some bad luck, and that means that we will be able to get up there.
Still lead the Constructors' Championship, but with a reduced points advantage. Ferrari are second, followed by the 3rd place Williams.
Right, so Ferrari have cut down our lead to just 20 points. Williams sit in 3rd, but they are a long way back, so we just need to maintain our gap. But that has been it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.